testify. I 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 testify.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to another episode of The Watchman. I am the Watchman, Leonard McKenzie, Minister Leonard McKenzie. I am glad you guys were able to join me in the broadcast today. So right now, I want to thank Nene McKinley for coming in so early. Bless you. I want to thank Kimberly Frost for coming in. Kimberly Frost Boykin, my apologies. And Carmen Boss Lady Houston. And my man, watching on the wall, Vincent Gridiron. Bless you for coming in, man of God. Hey, we're going to have another power-packed episode today. And I want you guys to know a couple of things that housekeeping rules are as followed. Once again, I am a firm believer in Jesus Christ, Yeshua HaMashiach. I'm a firm believer in Jesus Christ. My opinion will not, cannot be swayed no other way. Being a firm believer in Jesus Christ, I love him to death. So if anyone do not believe in Jesus Christ, that's fine. That's fine. This show is still for you as well. But just to let everyone know where I stand. Number 2 is I will not argue the word, and I will not argue facts. Now, you can give your opinion. That's not a problem. You can disagree with me. That's not a problem. I welcome all of that, disagreements. I welcome all of that because I don't know everything. Well, then I'm quite sure that I am more capable of being straightened out. I have no problem with that. And in saying that, like I said, if you want to call in, the phone lines are open. You can call in. The number is 816-200-0078. It's at the bottom of the feed. Once again, the phone line is 816-200-0078. And I want you guys to share and to like this feed. Now, if you believe that what's being said is true, what's being said is real, go ahead, pass it along to somebody else. Share this, like this, so that they can get some of this as well. Because we're about to get deeper into part 2 of Can You Handle the Truth? Like I said, this may be a 3-4-parter because the information I have is very lengthy. And I have a lot of information that I can't present all in 1 or 2 episodes. So last week, let's jump right on in this. Last week, we were talking about the Ashkenazi Jews. We were talking about that last week, and how they took the name of the children of the Old Testament. How they took the name of the children of the Old Testament. I ran to you down that the Ashkenazi Jews were from the land over in Europe, which was European. That's where they came from. That's how they come about to take the name of the true children of Israel. Now, if anyone wants to comment, feel free to comment. Feel free to join in. This is an open forum. I have no problem. This is an open forum. You can ask questions. You can make statements. If you believe, like I said before, if you believe in the Watchmen, if you believe in what's going on, I encourage you to share this on your page so your friends can get some of this. And like this page, because check it out, people. Without you, there's no me. And I thank you for coming in. Bridget Franklin, thank you for coming in. Laniqua Robinson, bless you for coming in. Thank you. My niece Brandy, I see you coming in there. Well, you told me you would. So welcome to the show. Now, like I said last week, we talked about those particular Jews that's over in the land right now, and how they are not the true children of the Old Testament. Now, I want you guys to understand that, once again, like I said last week, I am not claiming Hebrew Israelite. I am not claiming to be a Muslim. I'm not claiming to be Hindu. I am claiming to be a follower of Christ. I'm a follower of Jesus Christ. That's who I am. I'm not gonna. Hello, Sister Vivina Kemper, another Watchman online. Bless you, woman of God, for joining in. Now, like I said, I don't, and I'm not dealing with what I want to say. I am trying to bear with me because I'm trying to get my other computer has froze up on me, and I'm trying to get it to come up because I have my notes on that computer. So let me put my glasses on, because without my glasses I can't see nothing. So now, like I said last week, we talked about how the Ashkenazi Jews, how they took the name of the original children of Israel, how they took the name, where they came from, how they became who they became, how they were defeated by the Rus people, and the Rus people are Russians. They're the Rus people are Russians, and how Genghis Khan came in and wiped the rest of them out. So they fled to other countries of Europe, where they became bankers and loaning money. So now, like I said last week, when I talked about these things, I'm gonna come back this week and tell you how they took the land. Okay, Brother Timothy Shockley, bless you for coming in. Franklin Jones, bless you. Terrell Walsh, thank you for coming in. Hey, I thank you guys for joining. I appreciate you guys greatly. And like I said, please, the phone lines are open. If anyone want to call in, the number is 816-200-0078. Call in. Phone lines are open. Share this feed with some of your friends, because they're going to need this as well. Now, let's dig right deep in this again, because I got a lot to cover. Once again, like I said, this will be more than 1 or 2 episodes. This might be 3 or 4 parter, because like I said, the information that I have is very lengthy, and it's a lot of it. And I'm going from beginning to end. And if anyone disagrees, that's fine. That's fine. No problem. We can roll with that. Now, where we left off last week, whereas now we're coming into how the Ashkenazi Jews, how they took the land of Israel. Because they weren't originally in the land of Israel. They were originally in Ashkenazi, over in Europe. Now, here we go. Now, the Balfour Agreement, the Balfour Declaration, will show an agreement on how the Ashkenazi Jews got the land, and I'm telling you, it really wasn't pretty how they got the land. Because in 1914, when World War I was going on, the world was caught up in a web of treaties and alliances, as you can see. Because through this chart, you can see where in the middle, where Bulgaria and Siberia is, that's where the line was drawn on each side. So you had the Germans, who had Italy, Austria, Hungary, the Ottoman, which is now Turkey, the Ottoman Empire, which is now Turkey. They had their side. And so Siberia had Russia, France, and Britain on their side. So therefore, it was a web of treaties and alliances, and the Ashkenazis had banks all over the area, all over the regions. And they had them in all other cities, and they were bankers. They, as you know, like I said, they were bankers, and they loved war, because they were a warring nation before the Rus people came in and took them over. They were a warring nation. They thrived on fighting. Fighting was their forte. Then when the Rus people, which were the Russians, Vikings, they came in and wiped them out. They destroyed the land, and then Genghis Khan came in and finished them off, made them flee other parts of Europe, like I said earlier. And they was being bankers. As they were being bankers, they were funding both sides of the war, because that's what they do. They fund both sides, and they have a side that they want to win for real. And even though they were funding both sides, they really had their own pick who they wanted to win. Like in the American Civil War, the Ashkenazis, they were funding Abraham Lincoln and the South, but they wanted the South to win because it was more economical for the South to win because of slavery. You know, money was made in slavery. So therefore, it was really economical for the South to win. So therefore, they wanted the South to win. The Ashkenazis wanted the South to win, and just like in World War I, the Ashkenazis wanted Germany to win because they're funding Germany and Great Britain, and while they're funding both sides, that's how they control the countries. Because if you loan money to people and they can't pay you back, because like I said last week, the Ashkenazi Jews, they were loaning money to kings and queens in the countries. So if they loan your country money, then if they call their note and you can't pay back, well, they take it back in land or in favors. So therefore, that's what they did. They was funding both Germany and Great Britain. And due to the fact they wanted Germany to win, because like I said, it was more economical for them to have a country win, and Germany was a country they wanted to win, but because the Rus people, they came in these, and the Rus people, which were the Russians, because the Nazis, they hated Russia. Because they hated Russia, they wanted Germany to win because they hated Russia, because the Rus people conquered them back in the day. So therefore, they hated Russia with a passion. So they wanted Germany to win, so they funded Germany and Great Britain. But Russia, as you can see on this chart here, Russia was fighting with Great Britain. They was on Great Britain's side. So they wanted Germany to win because they didn't like Russia. So then in turn is when they decided to say, okay, we want Germany to win, so we're going to fund both sides so we can get money, so we can control both sides of the spectrum. Now, another reason why the Ashkenazis hated Russia was because they intervened in the American Civil War. I want to thank another group coming in. Thank you for coming in. My boy Eric Alexander for coming in. Stacy Marshall, bless you for coming in. Lakita Hughes, sister-in-law and sister in Christ, bless you. Adrian Trotter, Shyla Breeden, thank you for coming in. Rebecca Gill, Minister Gill, bless you. Minister PJ Harris, bless you, man of God. Bless you, man of God. Bless you. Hey, share this page, people, because about to get head deep and heavy. Want to call in? Phone lines are open. The phone number at the bottom, 816-200-0078. Now let's back at it. Now, when the Russians intervened in the Civil War, like I said, the Ashkenazis, they were funding both sides of the war. They was funding Abraham Lincoln and the South. But what happened was the South was winning. So Great Britain and France said, let's put an end to the war while the South was winning. So if they would have come in and helped the South win, we would still be on plantations today. But Russia said, okay, look at here. We're not going to let you intervene in that country's affairs. So what we're going to do, Russia did, they put a ship on the coast, on the coast of the East Coast and the West Coast, which was New York and San Francisco. Now they were blocking the entrances for Great Britain and Germany, Great Britain and France to come in and help out the South. So if it wasn't for the Russians, we'll still be on plantations today. Believe it or not. See, that's not in our history books. We didn't learn that in school. All we learned was after that, because if there's nothing going on in America, the history that America has over the world would not be feasible for us. So like I said, you can look it up. I looked it up. You can look it up yourself. It's out there. The Russians helped the Civil War, helped with the Civil War. Now there was a man named Oliver Wendell Holmes. He was a great author, and he wrote about these escapades, how Russia helped out in the Civil War, and this is what he wrote. He said, "Bleak are our shores with the blast of December, which was cold. Fettering and chill is the rivulet's flow. Thrilling and warm are the hearts that remember. Who was our friend when the world was our foe?" This is fires of the north in eternal communion. Blend your broad flashes with evening bright star. God bless the empire that loves the great union. Strength to her people. Long life to Caesar. New York, San Francisco. Now, Caesar was the emperor of Russia at that time. He sent the ships to San Francisco and New York to intervene to prevent Great Britain and France to come over and help the South win. So that's another reason why the Ashkenazis hate Russia. And even though Oliver Wendell Holmes wrote that, it's still prevalent today, because this is another site I got some of the information off of as well. It says, no, this is Russia beyond. Russian-American relations were not always so bitter and tense as now. During the Civil War, Russia supported the Union primarily because its main geopolitical enemy was at that time Great Britain, which was sympathetic to the Confederacy. In addition, the U.S. and Russia had enjoyed good relations in the first half of the 19th century, even though they had very different political systems. Fact check me if you don't mind. I welcome fact checking. Go ahead. Check your facts. Write this stuff down. Get your pencil and papers together. Write this stuff down so you can check it out for yourself. Just don't take my word for it, because when I preach, when I'm in church preaching, I say the same thing. Just don't take my word for it. Look for yourself. Take the book out. Write the scriptures down. Write down what's being said. Write down the topic. Go home. Read the scriptures. Read the scriptures that was said. Read the ones before it. Read the ones after it. And get a better understanding of what God expects out of you. That's what he wants us to do. Get a better understanding of what he expects out of us. But like I said, since Russia had intervened and stopped the progress of the Ashkenazi Jews, which, like I said, they were funding both sides, but they wanted the South to win because of money issues. So, and since Now let's go back to this chart again, because this chart is very essential to what's going on. See, as you see, when Russia helped out the United States, because even though Russia was fighting with Great Britain, this was before they were fighting together. Britain and France was going to come and help the South. But since Russia intervened, the Ashkenazis said, "Hey, look, you messed our plans up, so therefore we're going to mess you around." So what happened was, in World War I, when they were fighting, even though, like I said, the Ashkenazis they were financially backing Britain and Germany. Great Britain and Germany. They were financially backing them both. But they wanted Germany to win because of Russia fighting with Great Britain. Okay, Cynthia Cindy coming in. Thank you for coming in. LaMonica Aiken-Bowens, thank you for coming in. Bless you guys. Thank you guys for coming in. You guys do not know how much this means to me that prominent people of God, men and women of God, that hold high regard to God's favor, come in and check out a little old person like myself. Like I say, hey, look, comments are welcome. Phone calls are welcome. Any questions, any comment, please call in. The phone lines are open. So, now, with by the Ashkenazis, the Ashkenazi Jews, Ashkenazi is Ashkenazi, Ashkenazi. They hated Russia so much that they helped Germany fund the first submarines. Germany invented the first submarines because everybody's fighting on top of the water. But Germany created this thing they called them U-boats, which was underwater boats. So that helped them to get more advancement in the war to win. So when Germany was winning, beating Great Britain, and Great Britain was like, hey, we're losing this war. And so Germany said, you're losing. And Great Britain said and Germany said, okay, you pretty much lost the war. Let's create a peace treaty. Let me give you a peace treaty. Let me give you a peace treaty. But what happened before then, the Ashkenazis came to Germany and said, look, we will help you win the war if you give us Israel. If you give us Israel. Now, Germany was like, hey man, we can't give you what we don't own. Because they really wanted Russia and Great Britain to lose because of Russia. They went to Germany and said, we will give you the war if you give us Israel. And Russia said, how can we give you something that we don't own? But as the war was going along, Germany offered a peace treaty to Great Britain. They offered a peace treaty to Great Britain, and Great Britain was going to take up the peace treaty. They was going to accept the treaty because of the fact of they knew they had lost. But after Germany was winning, then the Ashkenazis came to Germany and said, hey, look, like I said, we'll give you the war if you give us Germany. Now, that's where the Balfour Agreement comes in at. The Balfour Agreement stipulates that someone will give someone something in return for something. Let me bring it more home to you. Even though it's going to be down further. I got the information down further along, but this is what the Balfour Declaration looked like. This is what it looked like. I showed it last week. I'm showing again today. And who are the leaders of the Ashkenazis? The Rothschilds. They are the leaders of the Ashkenazis. And look at the title. Look at the beginning, where it's who they're addressed to. Dear Lord Rothschild. But that's going a little bit ahead of myself at this moment. Let's bring it back a little bit more. So when Germany said that, no, we can't give you what we don't own, so they said, okay, well, since you can't give us what we want, okay, fine. So what they did, they go over to Britain. They tell Britain the same thing. They say, okay, we'll give you the war if you give us Palestine and Israel. We'll give you the war if you give us Palestine and Israel. And it was like, okay, how can you give us victory over this war? Well, they said, well, you know, we're bankers and we loan money to everybody. We got this country across the water called America. We've loaned them money. They're in our debt. They owe us. So we can call in the market. We have a president over there, a president that we put in office over there. So you help us win. We help you win the war, but you got to give us Palestine and Israel. Because we just tell them what we want and they will come to your aid and fight. Because we put the president in office. We have a federal reserve, and we run America. Nazis told them that. We put the president in office. We have the federal government, and we run America. Now, let me put a pause. Let me put a pin right there for 1 second. 1 second. I want to Terrence McDaniel, bless you for coming in. Chanel Watkins, bless you for coming in. John Cheadle, bless you for coming in. Now, I am just offering, like Morpheus told Neo in the Matrix, take the blue pill, you go back to sleep, wake up, nothing never happens. I put a little video out there. Or take the red pill, I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Now, I know for myself, I'm very much aware that this, what I'm telling you guys, can be my demise. I'm very much aware that I can get in trouble behind this. I'm very much aware my life can be at stake behind this. Because I'm giving information that either they don't want out, or they don't want known, or they don't care that it gets out, because they figure the less people I have rolling with it, the less threat that I am. But the more people that start rolling with this, the more of a threat they feel I become. So I'm very much aware of my situation. Now for you, if you do not want to know the truth, if you can't handle the truth, if you choose to stay blind, that's fine. That's on you. I pray that you don't. But if you want the enlightenment, take one of the pills. Red, blue, or red. If you take the red one, roll with me. Take the blue one, I suggest you log off now. If you don't want to know more of this truth, I suggest you log off now, because when you know, you're obligated to share. And when you share, it's going to be more on your head. Because the Bible says in Ezekiel that a watchman goes out. A watchman is to sound the alarm, is to be on the wall, be on the lookout for the enemy coming in like a ravishing wolf in sheep's clothing. That's what a watchman does. So as a watchman, you got to be able to be ready to do this thing. And if you're not ready, log off right now. But if you're ready, let's keep going. Now, can somebody comment and let me know that I'm still being heard, I'm still being seen, because no one's saying anything to me. Somebody give me a comment. Let me know what's going on. Let me know you understand. Let me know you're rolling with me. Let me know something, because give me some hearts, some thumbs up. Let me know. Let me see something going on, because I don't know if anybody's watching. I don't know if anybody's here. I don't know if people log in. Are they still here? Hit me up. David Stansberry, thank you for coming in, brother. I see you popped in. Now, as they went to, as the Ashkenazis went to Germany, went to Great Britain and said, we will give you the war. Bless you, brother Gridiron. We will give you the war if you give us Israel, Palestine. If you give it to us, we will give you the war. And so Great Britain said, okay, they consider it. But in the meantime, in the same space and time, Germany would say, okay, well, since you guys are losing the war, we want to go ahead and offer you a peace treaty. We're going to offer you a peace treaty. So therefore, we can end this thing with peace, and we'll roll with it. So as Great Britain was thinking about it, that's when the Ashkenazis came to them and said, hey, look, we'll bring America in this thing, because they have millions of people over there. They're not fighting nobody. They're in their own little world over there. But they will do what we tell them to do. So you help us, we help you. So Great Britain said, okay, cool. Let's do that. Let's do that. Because we want to win. We want to win. So with that being said, that's where like I said, that's where the Balfour Agreement comes in at. That's where the Balfour Agreement comes in at, declaration come in at. Because as you see, what it says is how they're going to give them Israel, Palestine. Look it up for yourself. It's out there. It's out there. They're going to give them Israel. They're going to give the Ashkenazi Jews Israel. So if they were given a land that did not belong to them, because the Bible says that there's some people occupying my land that don't belong. They are the synagogue of Satan. That's Bible. Who are they talking about? Who's the Bible talking about? They're in a land. They're inhabiting a land that does not belong to them. That's Bible. So with the Balfour Declaration, this is the Fordham University. This is another site that I researched and got the same information about the Balfour Declaration. It says, "Your Royal Majesty." This is some of the stuff they're saying. "Your Royal Majesty, we're going to give you. We're going to give you. We're going to give you the country. We're going to give you Israel." They said, "We convey." See what it says convey? It says we convey. Now, convey means to give land. Convey means to give land, property. Give it up. Give it up. The letter was written and signed by Arthur James Balfour, which was a Secretary of Foreign Affairs of Great Britain, on November 2nd, 2017. Look it up, people. Look it up for yourself. I'm gonna bring it back to you. November 2nd, 1917. Written and signed by Arthur James Balfour. That's where the Balfour Agreement, the name the Balfour Declaration, comes from. Arthur James Balfour. Convey means transfer of property. And once again I ask you, who are the Ashkenazis, the owners, the rulers of the Ashkenazi? If you're writing a letter to someone to get your point across, or to even address someone of that nature, you're going to address it to the leader of the country, the office, the company. You're going to address it to the leader. And who were the leader of the Ashkenazis? Dear Lord Rothschild. Now, some of you people may know the Rothschild family as the Illuminati. But that's just a name, because that's a surname for Satanist and the elite. That's a surname. But the elite are 12 of the world's richest families. That's the elite. That's who they are. 12 of the world's richest families. But the Rothschilds are the richest because they are the bankers. They created their wealth loaning money to countries and nations and kings and queens. That's how they created their wealth. Look it up. Fact check it. You will find out for yourself that it's true. It's there. It is there. It is out there. All you have to do is research and search for yourself, and you will find the truth. As I once heard before someone say, the truth is the truth. The truth is the truth. But as the Ashkenazis, they told Great Britain, they said, okay, we're going to give you the war, and you give us Israel. So now they got America. So how? So now tell me. So how? Even though they told them this, they put this Balfour Declaration in place, and then they want to know, how did they get America to go to war? Let me help you out. In 1916, Woodrow Wilson was the president back then. And he ran his campaign on peace, the promise of keeping America out of the war. That was Woodrow Wilson. That was what he was running his campaign on, is keeping keep America out the war and keeping peace. That was what he was running on. Because America really wasn't doing. America was to themselves. America kept to themselves. They was like, hey, that's their war, that's their fight. We're gonna stay out. And that's what Woodrow Wilson was saying. Hey, that's their war, that's their fight. We're gonna stay out. That and in saying that, they did not stay out. And this is a pendant. This is a pen that Woodrow Wilson had back then of the peace and prosperity, that creating peace, wanting peace, keep America away from the war, wanting peace, keep America away from the war. But as you know, the Ashkenazis they ran the country because the country owed them money through the Federal Reserve, which is loaning money. And they couldn't pay back. But let me tell you something. In Proverbs 22:7, it says, "The rich ruleth over the poor. The borrower is servant to the lender." Let me say that again. The rich ruleth over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender. Who was lending money to America? The Ashkenazis, the Rothschilds, Federal Reserve. So, if that's the case, and this is Bible, the rich ruleth over the poor, and the borrower is servant to the lender. That's Bible. So therefore, the Ashkenazis, the Rothschilds, they told America, hey, look, you owe us. So by you owing us, you got to go to war. They said, well, since Woodrow Wilson, they had dirt on him, and they had America. They was running America. 1 month later, after Woodrow Wilson won the presidency, after he ran a campaign on peace, ran a campaign on keeping America out of the war, 1 month later, we go to war. One month later, we go to war. Now, they have the president with lending money and has some dirt on him. But how did they get the people to agree with going to war? Dana Mitchum, thank you for coming in. Bless you, sister. Hey, people. Thank you. Those who are still here, thank you for staying in. Appreciate you. Anybody got some comments? Put your comments in. Share, like. The phone lines are open, 816-200-0078. Call in with your comments, thoughts, whatever's on your mind. Call it in. Come on with it. So, 1 month later, go to war. So how did they get America, get the people to agree to war? Now, this is my notes. Now they have the president with lending money and some dirt, but how do you get the people to agree with it? Before World War I, America was cool with Germany. We did business with Germany. America had no problem with Germany. Remember, listen to me now. Before World War I, America was cool with Germany, did business with Germany, had no problem with Germany. So how did they get the nation, get America, to want to go to war with their friends? How did they get America to go to war with their friends? Through propaganda. Through propaganda. We as I don't like using the word African American because we're we're not Africans. We're Israel. We're children of the Old Testament. So I like to say, even though we want to connect with that, I like to say Americans, American African, because African American will mean you're African first, then American. Like Irish American, Mexican American, you're Mexican first, and you're American. You're Irish first, then American. German American, you're German first, then American. We can't be African first, then American, because we never was in Africa. We were Americans that are descendants. Some are descendants from Africans, or the children over in the continent of Africa. So therefore, Americans. That's just my way of. That's just me. You don't have to roll with it. It's fine. That's just my way of thinking. But nevertheless, we go through that every day. Propaganda. We are, the media has stereotyped us so badly that other people hate us. They hate us. But the propaganda is what they set forth to get the people to do what they want them to do. And they said that the people will do what we tell them to do. The people will do what we tell them to do. They tell us what to eat. They tell us how to eat. They tell us how to live. They tell us what to buy. They tell us everything that we know. We are following a system that wasn't really designed for us. Because we were creating our own system once upon a time, but it got destroyed. So therefore, we have to go with a system that wasn't designed for us. So through the propaganda, they have gotten the people involved in with propaganda, get the people to look at Germany as being bad people. Now, these are some of the slides they had back then. Now, Germans weren't black. Look at it. Look at here. Look at here. Will you fight with us or wait for this? Wait for what? Germany wasn't coming over here. We was friends with Germany. Look at here. Soldiers eating babies. And that's a fact. Germans eating babies? Come on, people. So is he your child? You don't want this? So even though, well, this slide here and the next two slides are slides from World War II, but you can still see how they're using propaganda to persuade people to dislike somebody that they don't know. Because we don't know that we didn't know them Germans. We didn't know the Germans. We just knew they were friends of ours. But when they start putting out propaganda like this, then America started to hate Germany because of stuff like this. That's a fact. Soldiers eating babies, that's a fact. How is that a fact? Buy war bonds before it's too late. And Woodrow Wilson was talking about, he ran a campaign on peace and not putting America in the war. But as you see, all these propaganda slides are American slides, American photos from America. Beat back the Hun with Liberty bonds. They put propaganda out there, just like Bin Laden. They were told, hey, Bin Laden bombed the World Trade buildings, so we have to go get him. He's a threat to the country. We need to go get him. So people are like, go get him, go get him, go get him. But did anyone ever stop to think that Bin Laden, his kids were already in America. His family was in America. His family ate with the Bush family. They ate together. They supped together. they hung out together. Bin Laden and Bush, they hung out together. Bin Laden, he was building homes in his country. He was a hero in his country. So if Bin Laden was a hero in his country, why did the people say, go get Bin Laden? Propaganda. And then when the country would get Bin Laden, all of a sudden they leave Bin Laden alone and start getting Saddam Hussein. They leave Bin Laden alone and start looking for Saddam Hussein. And you wonder why they couldn't find Bin Laden? Well, if I had somebody that was paying for my health care and taking care of me, why would I turn them in to somebody I don't know? See what I'm saying? They didn't know us, so they can't trust us. Like we don't know them, so why should we hate someone that we don't know? We as a black race, we as an African American race, we know oh so well how we're perceived by not being known. This is one of the reasons why I'm doing this. I create this because if we can bridge the gap and people that don't know us learn about us, maybe the gap can be narrowed some. Because lack of understanding, because the Bible also says my people perish for the lack of knowledge. Well, everybody's God's people. So therefore, if you don't know a person, if you don't know a specific set of people, how and why would you judge them if you don't know them? The best way to understand a person is to get to know that person. So that's why I say this is why I do what I do, because there are other races that hate us, that don't care about us, and we've done nothing to them but just be us. So when Germany, when America goes to help Germany, goes to war against Germany, because the Nazis got mad, was still mad at Germany because they turned them down. They were still pissed at Germany because they turned them down. So as the war was coming to an end, as America came in, and how they came in to fight against Germany, and Germany was losing. When Germany lost, it's okay. When they went to go sign what's the thing called? The treaty, the peace treaty. Yes. And one thing you want to know, that Hitler never called himself a Nazi. Hitler never called himself a Nazi. See, now the name Ashkenazi is spelled again Ashkenazi, Nazi. They gave them the name Nazi. Now, if you wanna, this is a, put a pin right here for a second. Now, if you wanna know a little bit more about this, do the heritage of Noah, his three boys, Ham, Shem, and Japheth, and see which nationality of people come from each brother, each son. And under Japheth, which is the European race, comes from under Japheth, you will see Ashki. So it's already established that in the lineage of Noah, his son Japheth, the oldest son, Japheth, the Europeans come from him, and down his lineage, one of his sons was Ashki, which Ashkenazi, which which they were over in Europe, and they mainly was in the Caucasus Mountains, which is now the Himalayas, the Caucasus Mountains, which forth the name Caucasian. So now, when Germany was losing when they lost the war, and they went to go sign the peace treaty, Germany said, okay, with America's help, Germany loses the war, and when they met to discuss the peace treaty, Germany had given in to the harsh terms. I mean, the terms that was given to Germany was harsh. So it took everything they through that peace treaty. That Oscar Nazis took everything from Germany. They made them pay all types of restitution. They put military bases all over the place. They pretty much decimated Germany. Pretty much just destroyed Germany. And the Treaty of Versailles, that's what it's called, the Treaty of Versailles. With the Treaty of Versailles, Benjamin Franklin, who I spoke about last week, was an Oscar Nazi who turned Christian. Benjamin Franklin, he was there. He named some of the people, some of the Jews that were there. He said there was over 100 plus Oscar Nazi Jews that didn't need to be there. 100 plus Oscar Nazi Jews that didn't need to be there when they discussed that treaty. When that treaty also was the same time, around the same time, the Balfour Agreement was initiated and signed. So after the reading of the treaty, the Oscar Nazis go over to Britain and says, "Now you won. Give us Palestine. Give us Israel." And the Germans was right there. They saw them shake hands over Palestine, over Israel. The Germans they sat there and watched them shake hands on the treaty, the agreement that they would give them Israel. Germany like, hey, we let y'all come into our country. Y'all came in, you Jews, we let y'all come in, let the Jews come in to their country. And there were more millionaire Jews in Germany than there was all across the world. There were more millionaire Jews in Germany than there was across the world. Anybody still with me out there? All right, let me give some more shout outs here. Tempo Lee, thank you for coming in. Andrew Anderson, sister, bless you for coming in. Bless you for coming in. Renville Bell, man of God, Watchman, bless you for coming in. Anybody got anything to say? Go ahead and comment. Go ahead and comment, share, like. Let's get this thing going. The more people watching this, the more eye-opening experiences they will have. The more awakened they will become. Okay. Now, there are more millionaire Jews in Germany than there was all over the world. In Germany, the Jews ran the media, just like all over the place. They ran the publications. They said that Germany took the Jews in after Russia kicked them out. They opened the borders to the Jews. They were on the same side throughout the war with the Jews, with the Ashkenazis. Throughout the entire war, they felt that they were on their side. And they shook hands with their enemy, stabbed them in the back, treated them wrong. They Judased Germany. The Ashkenazis did. They Judased Germany by going to their enemy and asking their enemy to give them something that they couldn't give, but they gave it to them. So, check this out. You side with our enemies through the entire war because we didn't give you something that we did not own. You go to our enemies and shake hands, stab us in the back. Now we lose the war because of you. Now, if you was Germany, how would you feel? And the Ashkenazis, how would you feel about the Ashkenazis? How would you feel about them? How would you feel about somebody who you thought that was on your side, that rolled with you all through for years, and all of a sudden come to find out they stabbed you in the back? How would you feel? And you had proof. Just like the Jews, they had proof. They had documents to prove what went on. How would you feel? So Germany says, okay, we're going to abide by the terms because they know that, hey, look, if we don't, they will make it even harder for us. But they said, we will abide by the terms, but we won't do business with the Ashkenazis. We won't do business with you because you guys are backstabbers. We can't, you cutthroat. We can't deal with you guys no more because you've proven to be no good. Now, around that time, even though Germany lost, there was no violence, no destruction. They just shunned the Ashkenazis. They didn't do anything to them. They just said, and this one was in Germany now. This one, the Ashkenazis was in Germany. They didn't do anything to them. They just shunned them. They just said, we're not going to do business with you. You're over here now. You're here. Y'all won. You won the war. So therefore, hey, cool. We ain't got nothing. We ain't gonna fight with you. We're just not gonna do business with you. So they got pissed off with Germany. The Ashkenazis got pissed off with Germany, and their pride got in the way. So when their pride got in the way, what the Jews do? The Jews declare war on Germany. Why? Because they was mad because Germany stopped doing business with them. They declared war on Germany. Did anybody know this stuff? Did anybody know that before the concentration camps over in Germany, this stuff had went on? I don't think so because I'm just not finding it out. And we as a people, we don't research. We don't study. We don't read. We as a people, we just take what's told to us. We take what's put in front of our face and say, we're going to roll with that. We don't care about we don't care about the truth. We care about where we are in our life. We don't care about what's going on. The truth can be right there in our face and we'll still deny it. Like Jesus Christ. He came. He was the truth. And they denied him. We denied him. The Bible says he came and his own received him not. His own? Eyes of fire, hair of wool, feet, skin of bronze. Eyes of fire, hair of wool, skin of bronze. His own received him not. So, the Ashkenazis was pissed off at Germany because of that. So what they did, they said, okay, when they declared war on Germany, and the history books tells us that Germany was the aggressors. It wasn't. The Jews were the aggressor in the beginning. They were the aggressors in the beginning. So in the and this is a one of the Ashkenazis' big meetings. I'm trying to pronounce that right. Let me see here. The International World Congress of Zion. Write this down. International World Congress of Zion. That was one of the Ashkenazis' big meetings, almost like the Bohemian Groves over in California where all the muckety mucks go and do their satanic worshiping. Another story, another lesson. We're going to get to that as well. Now, what they did, they decided to, they said, okay, now, every place we have banks, every country, every city that we have banks, every place that we run, the Ashkenazi say, every place we run, every place we have banks, we're going to tell them to boycott Germany. We're going to tell them to boycott Germany. Even after they declare war, they're going to boycott Germany. So, even though they boycotted Germany, they told everybody, we're not going to do business. We don't want you because we run you. You owe us. You're in debt to us. You do not do business with Germany. Now then, Germany had become economically depressed. They were a broken country. They were starving. They had nothing. They were poorer than poor. They were like us in slavery. They were like us in the inner city. They had nothing. They had nothing. They were down to nothing. Germany was down. This is before Germany's leader came about. This is before Germany's leader came about. Then Germany had a leader to arise. Their leader arose. And through the propaganda, through what we was told about this leader, he has said, as we were told to use his name, it said, hated and disgust. Hatred and disgust, because they made us believe that that man was evil. He ate babies. They were just totally destroyed. But they had reason to fight back. Now, do I condone what happened? No, I do not condone what happened over there. I do not. I do not condone what happened over there. But the truth of it is they were provoked. They did not start it. So, when their leader came on the scene, he began to tell the truth about the Ashkenazis, what they had done, and how they done it. And he wrote a book called Man Kempf, something like that. That's in German called Mein Kampf, MEINKAMPF, which translated my fight. He wrote a book, and that book was, and they took that book out of circulation because it told the truth. Now you can find it now. It's out there now because of the internet. But when there wasn't an internet, they took the book off of circulation because it was telling the truth about the Ashkenazis and what they did over in Germany. Okay, now even then, there was still no bloodshed. There was still no violence to the Jews. There was still nothing to the Jews until a Jewish, let me see here, and until 1938, an Ashkenazi Jew shot a German diplomat in Paris. When this Jew shot this German in Paris, that started the bloodshed of the Jews in Germany, the Holocaust. Fact check me, people. Look it up for yourself. But I want you also to understand that even though all this stuff is being said, Matthew 7:15 says, beware of false prophets, which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves. We have been told, we have been taught, we have been directed to do what they want us to do. We're told what to wear. We're told what shoes to buy. You got people standing in line to buy Michael Jordan shoes for $200, $300, $150 a pair of shoe for a pair of shoes. Gucci, Prada. These companies that blatantly say, I don't care about this country. I don't care about you people. But yet and still, we still flock to them. Paul E. Miller, thank you for coming in. Brother-in-law. Hen, thanks for coming in, brother. We don't. We are like sheep led to slaughter. We're falling for anything put our way. Now, if we were to get back into the Bible, give God his, we will start to see what is going on throughout the world. We will see why the world is the way it is. I believe that we as the people over here, we as the dark-skinned people over here and throughout the other countries that we were scattered about, the children of Shem, as we were scattered about throughout the world, Mexico, the Caribbeans, all those other countries who have dislocated people from the original country. We are the reason why the world is the way it is. Because if we are the true, then we are disobedient. We are out of order. Now, I know this is unpopular teaching. This is unpopular preaching. I know that there are a lot of brainwashed people. I know there are a lot of people still slaves in the mind. I know that. But there are some people that have their eyes open. There are some people that know the truth. And I'm telling you this right now, again, like I said last week, this information is not for you is not to hate anyone. This information is to give you an idea of what's going on and give you an idea of why we're in the position that we're in. You leaders out there, you politicians, you talk about change. You talk about wanting to do things differently, but we hear the same stuff over and over and over every time election comes. We hear the same stuff, how they're going to improve this and improve that, and nothing gets improved. Things get worse. The Bible says it's going to get worse before it gets better. So therefore, what I say to you leaders, you politicians, go to the book. Read the book. Read about the curses of being disobedient in Deuteronomy. Then read about the blessings of being obedient in Deuteronomy. People out there know what I'm talking about. Now, we as a people, if we start to go and read the book of Deuteronomy and find what the curses are, we can start to combat the curses and start creating blessings. And through those blessings, individual lives will get better. As a whole, it's not going to happen. As a whole, forget about it. As a whole, it is already, the wheels are already in motion. We can't change what's going on. We can't change the Antichrist coming. We can't change the new world order. We cannot change the concentration camps. We cannot change the mark of the beast, which is also in Obamacare. We cannot change anything that is already in motion that God has set in motion. All we can do is really continue to pray and give God his time, give him his glory, and help to bring people back to his fold. Because there are so many religions, denominations, traditions, people going their own direction, and God's mad. God is mad. I say it once and I say it again. God is not coming back for a denomination. He's not coming back for a religion. He's not coming back for any traditions. There are many churches that are religious bound. They are traditionally bound. And they are denominationally bound. With these bondages, how can you really see God? Because the church is really destroying God's people. Not the church building, the church people. Because if you can go to the house of God each week, and you go into the house of God and you have an ought against your brother, or you have an ought against your sister, and you talk about people, and you shun people, and you ostracize people, how are you doing the work of God if these things are going on? Then the world looks at the church and go, how can I go to church? How can I believe in a God that when his people are acting like this? When his people can't get along with each other? How do you think God feels? How do you think God feels? Sodom and Gomorrah. The children of Israel, when they came out of the wilderness, and Moses said, hey, look, either you roll with God or you don't. He threw the tablets and they destroyed it, and the earth opened up and swallowed them up. Lot's wife, when he told Lot to go try to find 10 in Gomorrah to see if he could find 10, he'd spare Sodom and Gomorrah. He couldn't find 10. He said, find 5. He couldn't find 5. He said, find 2. He couldn't find 2. He said, never mind. I'm going to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah because of their ways. We have allowed this to go on too far. We have allowed this to go on too long. It cannot be changed. It will not be changed. What we got to do is get back to the book. Get back to the word of God. My niece asked me today. I was talking to my niece. And she asked me about my broadcast. Am I helping everyone? And am I trying to reach everyone with what I'm talking about, what I'm doing, what I'm saying? She said maybe somebody is still on milk and they may need a word from God. And they may need something that God give them just for them. And I told her, I said, by me being a vessel, being that willing vessel that God is using in these last days, I will let God speak through me first before I speak for myself. I will not allow myself to speak before God. I will let God speak for me and through me. So if what I'm ever saying and when God needs someone to get a message, he will use me and it'll come through what I'm saying. My job is not to persuade people, to make you change your mind. My job is to give you the information so you can make up your own mind. So if you feel that what I'm saying, what's going on, does not fit your life, that's fine. But if you feel it fits your life, go ahead. Think about a change. Think about doing something better for your life. Think about doing something better for your family. Think about doing something better for your community. Think about doing something better. Because without God, we can have nothing. We have nothing without God. I want you guys to know, before I leave tonight, I want you guys to know that even though these lessons, this series of these series that I'm presenting, Can You Handle the Truth? This is part 2 of Can You Handle the Truth? I have no idea how many more episodes God want me to present. But what I do know this here is that He is standing in the gap, waiting for you. I can't make you. I can lead you there. I can show you how to get there. Tina Marnett, thank you for Tina Marnett Elion. If I pronounce it incorrectly, my apologies. Charge that to my head, not my heart. Tina Marnett Elion, bless you for coming in. Don Poole, bless you for coming in. Women of God, bless you. But like I said, we need to get back to the book. Once we realize, start getting back those who know, those who care, and those who will show. We get back to the book. The community, the neighborhood, the inner city. We are the reason why the world is the way it is. It's our fault. Because the book tells us who we are. But we choose to let somebody else tell us who we are. This is not slavery days, people. These not the days where we wasn't allowed to read. We wasn't allowed to study. We wasn't allowed to do the things that we do. We're allowed to do anything we want to do. So I implore you to study. I implore you to do your research. I implore you to understand what's going on before you. I am an end-time preacher. God has put end-time messages in my spirit. He had given me end-time knowledge. He had given me end-time wisdom. Each and every day, he downloads more and more into my spirit that he wants me to present to you guys. One day, he will have me pastor a church one day. I don't know when, but he will have me pastor a church one day. And when that day comes, my message will be the true teaching, the unadulterated teaching of the Word of God. Not saying that it's not being presented now, because I know some churches that is presenting it now, but I also know some churches that follow to the wayside. My job is to get people equipped, encourage, edify, and empower. That is the job of a watchman, to educate, empower, encourage, equip, and to edify. Once we do that, people, we start rolling with that, watch God work. Listen here. This is Leonard McKenzie of the Watchman. I gotta go. But once again, I'll be here every Monday at 8 p.m. Don't know how long it's going to go down until they shut me down or until God send me somewhere else. Helen Manuel, thank you for coming in. Tyree Ashley Harris, thank you for coming in. I'm about to shut it down. But hey, the episodes are on YouTube. The past episodes are on YouTube. Go to the Watchman channel on YouTube, and you will see previous episodes. They are encouraging and enlightening. I want to say to you good people, God bless you. God keep you. God loves you, so do I. And there's very, very little you can do about that. Absolutely nothing. And I thank you once again. I thank all those who came in. I thank all those who watched. I thank all those who are going to watch watch later on. I value you guys even coming in to even paying any attention. Thank you again. Hey, look, once again, this is Leonard McKenzie of the Watchman. See you guys next week, or I might put something out there throughout the week. Who knows? Whatever God had me do, I will do. For God I live, and for God I die. Stay blessed.
I testify. I testify.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad that I'm so glad. I'm so glad. That I found him. Just in time. I'm so glad that I found him just in time. Oh, I'm so glad. That I found Jesus. Oh, I'm so glad, Lord, that I found him just in time. I'm so glad I found